Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be me answering some of the most common questions that beginners ask, and let's jump straight into it. We're going to start off with some of the basic questions that gets asked. Usually the first question that many people ask is, how often should I go to the gym? And I would typically recommend 2 to 3 days to go to the gym, and that just allows your body to hit all of your muscle groups, because it's kind of hard to hit it but within just a day, and you probably won't see as much progress as you would want. Second question is, how long should my workouts be? Typically, I like to keep it within 1 hour, and that's because I would speed through my exercises. Unless it's leg day, then it will be about 1.5 hours, and that's typically how long my sessions are. But if it's a very upper body focused, and that would just be within 1 hour. What's the best time to work out? So for me, I am not a morning person. I would not go to the gym at 6 a.m. I typically like to do it in the afternoon, so either from 11 a.m. or latest I would gym now is 2 p.m. If you guys are a morning riser, then 100% go to the gym at 6 a.m. That's probably the most quiet time. Should I start with cardio or weights? Personally, I would recommend doing some sort of weight exercises that just builds out your muscle, creates a nicer frame, and just getting stronger. I used to be doing like 30-minute cardio and probably like an hour of like mucking around in a way. Like I would do like planks, I would do some core exercises, I would do leg presses, which is very lower body focused, but I didn't really see much progress back then. But I see the most progress when I do weightlifting, and at the end of the day it really depends on what your goals are. But yeah, I would recommend weights personally. It's just better long term, better for your muscle, for your bones and all that stuff. What should I wear to the gym? This is a very good question. I truly think that you should wear whatever you feel comfortable, whether that's an oversized tee, trackies, anything that makes you comfortable. Now we're going to move on to training and exercises. First question is, what's the difference between strength training and cardio? Strength training is essentially weights, so building strength. You are using either dumbbells, barbells, or any machine work to build muscle and to build strength. That's the most simple way I could put it. And this essentially is to help you get stronger. Every single week you want to be adding weights. You want to be slowly adding some sort of weight / rep range to your exercises. That's the best I could put strength training. It's essentially getting stronger. And for cardio, I view cardio as getting my steps in, doing the Stairmaster, doing the elliptical, running. Those are considered cardio. I truly think running is one of the best ways in my eyes that my steps in the quickest, and it's not taxing compared to the Stairmaster. What exercises are best for weight loss? Okay, so I truly don't think you could ever just purely do weight training to lose weight if you don't prioritize your nutrition. If you guys seen my 12-week challenge, I talk a bit on food. I'm just going to talk about it here again. With nutrition, it's really important to be hitting your protein, your carbs, and your fats. And that is pretty much fuel for your body to do all your gym exercises. Once you start to eat more clean and prioritize the protein, the carb, that would help you lose weight at a deficit. When you're eating at maintenance, you're going to maintain the weight. Once you eat at a deficit and working just as hard, that will help with losing weight and increasing your step count. That would help with losing weight. The next question is, which exercise should I start with for muscle building? Any exercise, as long as you're increasing weight on a weekly basis, it does help with muscle building. I prefer dumbbells, but people prefer machines, people prefer barbell. It's really whatever you're comfortable with, and getting the exercise done right, that plays an important part in growing muscles. Because for example, if I'm doing bicep curls and I don't feel it in my biceps because my setup is wrong on the machine and I'm not targeting that muscle group, then it's kind of in a way useless. So you really got to watch out for your form and whether you feel it in your biceps. How many sets and reps should I do? If you want to get stronger, I typically go from 8 to 10 reps. But if I am just still trying to build my strength in a way, I would increase my reps. Typically, I mix and match. So I would go one block with just 8 to 10, maximize my strength, and then the next one I'll increase rep ranges. And that just helps in a way still building your strength. 12 to 15 is also great. It just depends what your goals are. As for sets, I would recommend 3 sets. As long as you're pushing to failure for a lot of the times, then that's amazing, as well as range of motion. Those are the 2 important factors that also help with muscle growth. Do I need to stretch before or after? I typically stretch before my leg days, especially opening up my hips. It just allows me to hit my range of motion. But honestly, if I'm in a rush, I sometimes skip my stretching. Oh, free weights versus machines. Which is better for beginners? I truly think that machines work the best for me when I was a beginner. It just helped me push those weight and not compromise my form. That was really helpful. How do I know if I'm lifting the right weight? I love this question so much because oftentimes I see people doing weights where it's just not right for them, or it's just too heavy or way too light. And honestly, when it's too light, you're not gonna see any changes, or it's not really helpful for muscle growth. Lifting the right weight. You still want to feel some sort of challenge when you're lifting these weights. Obviously, it's not to the point where you struggle to get it up and get 1 rep. You kind of want to be able to get it up, do around 5 to 6 reps, and then on your 8th to 10th rep, it should feel like hell. And that's when the weight is actually right for you. And then when you do your 2nd set and 3rd set, it should, if you feel as though you're confident in moving up in the next weight, then you can do that. But if you're struggling in getting at least 6, then you should maintain at that weight. I hope that gives some insight on training and exercise. Now we'll move on to nutrition and recovery. Okay, with nutrition and recovery, these are my favorite questions. What should I eat before and after the gym? So for me, I love to have a smoothie just like an hour before my gym session. That would typically include yogurt, oats, because fiber is very important for your diet, berries, and sometimes I put protein yogurt if I know that in my lunch and dinner I'm not gonna hit it. Like for example, if I'm going out for dinner and I don't hit protein, I'll put in some protein yogurt, and it's usually like 20 grams of protein, which is quite good. And what I eat after the gym is typically chicken and rice and vegetables, high protein, carbs, and some fats. And that's really what you should have. It's not super complicated. It's not hard to get down. I truly think that if you can alter it to how you like your food and target all those 3 macros, that's just the best. Next question is, do I need protein shake? It really depends. If you feel as though you can't hit your protein through food, like chicken and rice or any other protein, I would recommend implementing some sort of protein shake. My go-to recently has been the Rockaby. I honestly never liked those type of stuff, but I think it really comes down to flavor, and I feel like the Dutch chocolate was the only flavor I loved. That's my recommendation on a protein shake. But I besides that, I've never bought any bags of protein shake to make at home. Never. How much water should I drink? I usually like to get around 3 liters to 3.5 liters, and that just helps me to stay hydrated. And typically 2 liters is enough, but it just depends on how much water you consume, and you don't want to consume too much in one go just because you want to hit. I feel like I go through so many bottles at the gym because I'm just like constantly just sipping on it between each set, and it just, honestly, I probably consume around like 1.5 liters at the gym or 2 liters. How long does it take to see results? Okay, as for results, I honestly feel as though it's I feel as though it's something that you just have to put in more effort, and nutrition, your sleep, your recovery, all that plays a factor in seeing results. Personally, I would say that I have been consistently training for 3 years. I went from powerlifting to bodybuilding to now just being bodybuilding slash Pilates slash including more cardio, and attempting my first 12-week cut. So yeah, like I can't put a time to it, but it really depends on how much effort you're putting into your fitness. So if you're doing a lot more strength training, and you know, if you're adding weights every single week, you could see progress in the 6-month mark to a year. You start to see some physical changes, and that typically is a good time frame. I would not want, and that's like a more healthier way to see progress, whereas some people would immediately starve themselves and just expect to see progress immediately if they're just like 2 months in the gym. That's not how it works, and I don't recommend that to anyone. Okay, is soreness normal? 100%. If you haven't trained your entire life, or you've never done a certain exercise, you're bound to have DOMS, and it's honestly the most rewarding slash annoying thing. Because why I'd say it's annoying, because every move you make is just pain, but it's rewarding because it just shows that you're working those muscle groups. Alright, let's move on to gym confidence and etiquettes. What if I feel intimidated at the gym? I am not gonna lie, when I first started the gym and I didn't know what I was doing, I was hiding in the women's room. Like literally, I paid $15 or $15 for 2 weeks, and I was just staying in this confined woman's room. And honestly, I think back then, because you know what, I didn't have a fitness goal, I didn't know what I was doing, I'm just gonna do what I think I'm doing, that's gonna help me. Then I realized that honestly, once you start to educate yourself, or once you go in with the plan, once you know what you want to do, that intimidation just goes away. You won't even feel it, because you're so locked in with your program, with what you want to do. You just completely ignore everyone's perception on you. Yeah. And honestly, everyone at the gym is honestly just focusing on themselves, and they just don't have time to be judging other people, looking at other people. And if they really do, then it's their issue. You shouldn't feel like you need to act or be or feel a certain way. And if you do feel intimidated, then honestly go with the gym buddy. Like, there are days where when I try out like a new gym, then I do feel intimidated, because I'm like, what am I doing? Am I doing this machine wrong? Honestly, yeah, no, that's a good example actually. So whenever I get a new program and I don't know how to use a certain machine, I'm usually, before I go in, I'm kind of like Googling, or even on the spot, I'll Google how to use this machine, just to make me feel a bit more confident in what I'm doing. I would recommend just educating yourself when it comes to doing any new exercises that you're unfamiliar with. And that usually helps shake off the nerves. This is a great question. Do I need a personal trainer? All the personal trainers might come at me, but I would say that you should have a personal trainer when you're beginning or you're starting at the gym, and they just help you with your form, they write you a program, and also they just help you feel a bit more confident in the gym because they will show you everything, they will do all that for you, and you can just go with the peace of mind. And once you kind of go on with the personal trainer for a couple months, a year, you're probably more confident in doing those exercises by yourself because you already know how it works, right? And then you can just drop their ass. Yeah. That would be my recommendation. Otherwise, if you already have a gym buddy or you know someone that's like a massive gym junkie, then go with them. They're more than happy to help you because I feel as though the gym community is very helpful. Alright, so those are all the questions. I hope you guys have gained something from this video and don't feel as though you need to know everything before you go to the gym. Everything is all a learning progress. I understand that the gym can be overwhelming, and I hope this video helped you guys some sort of way. And if you guys feel as though that you have any more questions, make sure to comment down below and I will answer them or make a part 2 to this video, of course. Okay, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.